So I was doing my best not to say anything because there are things that are just not my place to talk about, right? I try to stay in my own lane because I got my own problems to worry about. But this shit is fucking bothering me now because I done seen 3 or 4 things this week that is just like, look, ain't nobody responsible for your fucking happiness and well-being. Man, woman, or in between. Nobody. Ain't nobody responsible for knowing what you think and feel. Nobody. Man, woman, or in between. Y'all giving too much power away to niggas, to bitches, to all that other stuff. The only person that can make you happy is you. And guess what? Life ain't about being happy. It's about fulfilling your purpose and growing. You have cycles. Same way you have cycles with the moon where it goes from full to a new moon. Same way you have cycles when you, what you call it? Why I'm ranting so, nah, go get the people. That's why I'm ranting so early, because my cousin texted me some shit this morning talking about some Mexican man told some black woman about how if a man can't provide a certain standard of life for you and it's less than what you're capable of, then you shouldn't be with that person. And I'm not saying, did you see what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like, how you gonna be an independent woman, right? And then get mad because a person can't provide a certain standard of living for you and all that, and talking about some, oh, you need to divest from black women, from black men, and you need to be doing this. Like, now, I'm not advocating fucking struggle love by any means, shape, or form. If that nigga ain't doing what he's supposed to do, leave his ass. You saw what Cardi B did. You saw what Beyonce did, right? Beyonce went back to Jay-Z not because she had to, because she chose to. Not because she wanted to. She had her own fucking money, right? And then I'm seeing other shit like how, oh, I need you to know what I'm thinking before I even know what I'm thinking. And I'm like, nigga, who the fuck knows that shit? Like, come the fuck on, man. You are responsible for you. Nobody else. You make it. Let me tell you something. I've been married for 10 years. You want to know the honest to God truth? My husband is not the person who makes me happy, because I was miserable the first few years of my marriage because it wasn't looking the way that Disney told me it was supposed to look. It was when I dropped that Disney shit and started reading John Gottman and fucking Marriage Institute and all that other stuff. That's when I started being happy in my marriage. You know why? Because I found happiness in me first, and my happiness came from me knowing what the fuck I wanted to do with my life. That's it. My kids don't bring me happiness. My husband don't bring me happiness. I bring me happiness. And nobody else can do that shit. Stop giving away your fucking power. Good Lord. I get it. I don't blame you for holding on to. Don't feel attacked about this. You can hold on to Disney, but at the end of the day, you got to think.
Let that shit go. Don't hold on to that shit. Let that shit go.
No. Don't feel attacked by that. But at the end of the day, Disney sets up unrealistic expectations for how it is a relationship is going to work. You don't meet someone and just randomly fall in love. Because matter of fact, I'll tell you my story. I met my husband and we got married inside of 22 days, which is technically speaking a Disney fairy tale, but that shit didn't go happily ever after. We got divorced. You know why? I had communication issues. Thank you. My friend said you're funny.
For me?
Yeah, because you were like, nah, let that shit go.
Oh, yeah, let that shit go.
But nah, we got into that shit, and it was just like, I'm mad because I don't know how to communicate. I'm expecting him to read my fucking mind. I'm expecting him to just know that when I go like this means that. And that's not what happened. And then I'm lonely and crying like, he doesn't love me and I feel unattractive. And you know what happened when we started actually working is when I started communicating. Like, okay, when you say this, do you mean that? When you're saying this, do you mean this? Like, and once we started communicating like human beings, not based in fucking gender roles, that was when our marriage became reasonable. That was when we could actually talk to each other. Before that, he was expecting me to be one thing and I was expecting him to be another, and we weren't meeting in the middle because nobody would talk about their fucking expectations. How the hell you expect me to read your mind and you expect me to read your mind? What the fuck? That shit don't make no goddamn sense. So what I'm saying is, I know it's early to be ranting. Yeah.
It's never too early to solve your problems. It is never too early. I wasn't going to get on this, but some of these comments, listen.
You said, Shayna was like, you know anyone else trying to get married in 3 weeks? I communicate.
I have an idea,
Look,
but you probably won't be down for it.
I don't recommend at all doing what I did. I took a huge risk in getting married in less than 3 weeks to a nigga that I did not know at all. I mean, at all. And it was a whirlwind romance the way that Disney promised me. But it did not pan out the way Disney said it was going to. We had to go ahead and learn. Matter of fact, we're divorced. Like, we're still divorced to this day. We live together, but on paper, we ain't married. And, Legally, we're not married on paper. And I don't know if we ever will get remarried because not for nothing. Tax advantage.
And ladies, this ain't no plea for y'all to start to with a ring. And fuck all y'all who think I should get a ring. Fuck you and the
No, but what I'm saying is, tax advantage wise, it makes more sense for me to file as head of household and get the claims that I can get than for us to file together. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for us to be in a certain thing. Exactly. Like, these are the shits that it's just like, okay, at the end of the day, he's my partner. He's supportive. He's with me. He's helping me raise the kids. He's helping me with the household. That's it. She said, all I want is a ring.
like you motherfuckers, like you New Yorkers like to say, you've been hoodwinked, son. Marriage got you fooled, B. Look, ma, it ain't going down like that, son. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right.
Yo, whatever. But with that, like, at the end of the day, as long as you're happy and you know what you want to do with your life and you have your purpose, that's where you should be drawing your purpose and fulfillment from. Not from some external source, whether you are dating men or dating women, period. It doesn't matter. Or dating anyone in between or anything in between, right? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're the one that makes yourself happy. You're the one that provides for yourself. And if you meet someone that's outside of your bracket, you could be with them for a little bit. And the minute that shit don't work, it don't work. If this relationship don't work, neither one of us is going to stay. At the end of the day, we can walk away. And that's what any relationship should be. You should be able to walk away if you have to. She said, I can't marry a woman I could barely tolerate. You know what? You absolutely can, right? Like, I'm bisexual, but I can't tolerate me either. So what I'm saying is, be happy with yourself. Find your purpose and love on you. If someone ain't telling you you pretty, get in the fucking mirror, put on your freakum dress, and tell yourself you were fucking pretty. You said, marry me and days are beating.
Who said that?
Nah, no, don't do that. Trust me, you don't want to do that life. Or, you know what? I'm going to tell you what to do. If you want somebody to marry you in days, here's what you're going to do. Write out your list, but don't be on like some girlfriend shit talking about he got to look like this, he got to have like this. I'm talking about write about the life that you want and the partner that it's going to take to get you where you want. Write that list out. And then after you write that list out, send it up to God and watch him send you who you're supposed to have. If you don't believe me, this is what I did. This is what Ciara did. Not like Joan, because Joan had a different kind of list. I mean, like, you make a list, that kind of list that's just like, you know, I told God to send me someone that I needed to help me work on these things, someone that I could build a business with, someone who had a good conversation, someone who had, you know, just little things, like someone who would support me in my dreams, someone who I could support in their dreams, like stuff like that is what I put on my list. No, not like Tony either. That's a whole different kind of list. But that was what I put on my list. And then I met my husband a few days later. We still didn't know that we were each other at that, like we were each other's partner at that point in time. And then everything just kind of swept up into things. And I will tell you this, our marriage is not perfect. We still fight. We still argue. We still have all of them damn things, but they're getting better. We have more good days than bad days, which is much better than when we started out.
Can I say this? Marriage is not perfect.
It's not.
You're not going to always agree on stuff. If two people are telling the truth, you're going to argue. That's just all there is to. Well, let me say it this way. If two people are honest with each other, you're going to argue. It's inevitable.
It's true.
If you have a marriage or if you're in a relationship where you never argue, you never have a disagreement, someone is lying to you.
And that's it. Point blank, period. Like, there are days where, and you can ask any of your aunties that's been married for some period of time. I got one aunt in Florida. She's like, there's some days I cannot stand him. Some days I hate him. And I ask anybody that's been married for a period of time, some days you cannot stand your partner. It's just like, go away. I don't want to be around you anymore. And then there's some days where all you want to do is be around each other and love on each other and all of that other stuff. But at the end of the day, all of that shit, all of that marriage shit and being happy and all of that, that's stuff that you gotta build. That you said can't trust Floridians. Well, I got non-Floridians too that said the same thing. Y'all are friends, and I don't know about y'all, but I argue with my friends and my friends argue with me. So why shouldn't I expect that to happen in my relationship as well? Like, that's gonna happen. But at the end of the day, the point of my rant is, don't nobody control your fucking happiness. Don't nobody control how attractive you feel about yourself except for you. Don't nobody know what you feel except for you. Don't nobody know. It's
called self-esteem, bitch. You are responsible for your esteem. And I'm paraphrasing, can't wait.
But it's the truth. You are responsible for your esteem. Nobody else is responsible for that. Because if you make somebody else responsible for your stuff, he's my best friend. He can't argue with me. But yeah, no, he's not supposed to let you win because then he ain't telling you the truth.
And see, that's the thing. Arguments aren't about winning or losing. Arguments are about one person not feeling heard. So don't have a discussion to win or to beat someone up verbally, because you'll end up losing in the long run. You're supposed to have those disagreements in order to enlighten the perspective of the other person. Two people are supposed to come together and be honest, and whatever comes of that, comes of that. But it's about enlightenment. It's about changing. Well, not changing. It's about understanding a new perspective. That's all it is.
So that's a gem, bro.
I know, ma. Yeah, I mean? Yeah, I mean, my word is bond, yo.
Please don't encourage him.
Is bond, yo.
Don't encourage him.
Yo, call my mother and tell my mother I ain't coming home tonight, yo.
Please don't encourage him. Anyway. But yes, that is the point. And I had to learn that because there be some days we be arguing with each other and we're saying the exact same thing. But because I'm so busy trying to win, I'm not hearing a word that he's saying. Don't tell him I said this. I know he's laying right next to me, but don't tell him I said this. But we be saying the same thing. And I'm like, why are we arguing? I don't know. And then it was just like, wait a minute. Okay, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. I'm not listening right now because I'm too busy trying to be heard as opposed to hearing him, and vice versa. But when we start the days where the conversation just goes smoothly, I give him space to talk. He gives me space to talk, and we don't end up in heightened emotions. But it's when we start cutting each other off, not letting each other finish, and it's just like, just let me finish my point. That's when we start yelling because we're trying to hear each other. And that's really what it is. But I ain't come on here to do all this. This was already longer than I planned on it. I'm just saying, be responsible. Yeah, actually, you know what? Sometimes you do just want to argue, but it's not that you want to argue. It's really that you want to fuck, to be honest with you. Anytime you're trying to fight a nigga, just go ahead and fuck him. That's it. Just go ahead. That's all you want.
Bust it open. Bust it wide open. Give him a wop.
Yes, hit him with the wop.
Just give him the wop.
Like, hit him with the wop and then just go from there. Like, sometimes you just want to have sex. Like, them times when you want to argue, you're trying to let out that Martian energy, that aggressive energy. Sometimes you just got to hop on top of the dick and go ahead and ride and be like, whose motherfucking dick is this? That's what you got to do sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to argue. Sometimes you want to fuck, but it comes off as arguing because you really want him to tap that ass sometimes. But that's just me. I know that's how I am. Oh, man. I love you. I love you too, boo. But yeah, that's why I came on. Own your fucking happiness. Own your space. Be a true independent person and be interdependent in your relationships. Don't rely on your partner for everything because they can't be everything to you, and they're not going to be. Anyone
You
telling
shouldn't
you,
want them to.
you shouldn't want them to be anyway. Like, if I had to go to him for everything, you know how annoyed I'd be? Like, sometimes he gets on my fucking nerves. Like, I'm like, go away, go out and go party, go have fun or something. I don't want to be around you. And there's days when he's like that with me. I don't want to be around you right now. I want to be by myself. And we're both two introverts together. On top of that, with extroverted kids, some days we just want to be in a fucking cave by ourselves. And you got to know how to be happy by yourself before you can be happy with another person. Because being married and being in a relationship ain't gonna make you happy. I can tell you that right now.
That's another
it's
thing
not.
Too. A lot of motherfuckers don't know how to be alone with their thoughts. If you don't know how to be alone with your thoughts, you're never gonna be happy. If you have to have constant external stimulation because you can't deal with the random thoughts that are going on in your head, then you don't need to be in a relationship.
It's absolutely true. If you can't be alone with yourself, if you can't be at peace with yourself, you are damn sure not going to find peace in a relationship, because there'll be days where you wake up and you don't know what the fuck you're feeling, and you're going to take it out on that person, whether you with a man, woman, or anybody non-binary, any of that shit. You going to end up taking it out on them because you don't know what the fuck you feeling. You need to go ahead and be alone. If you need to go to therapy, go to therapy. If you need to pray, go ahead and pray. Whatever the fuck you need to do so you can get that shit in balance, but don't put that shit on another person. That's giving them way too much power over you, and then they start treating you like property. Like a lot of these niggas who were going ahead talking about, a lot of people talking about, oh, he gotta have this much money, he gotta take care of me, he gotta pay these bills. Not for nothing, most of those men that want to be paying every single thing is because they don't want to give you no fucking power anyway. What they want is they want you under your goddamn thumb, barefoot, and in the motherfucking kitchen, pregnant and shit, and don't talk, don't speak, shut up and be a fucking trophy wife. No, that's not what you want. You need an independent nigga. And you know what independent niggas is like? They independent. I don't make breakfast for my husband because, oh, he can't make breakfast. He's a grown-ass man. He can cook and clean for his goddamn self.
And and I'm a certified culinary.
And he's a certified Le Cordon Bleu chef. And I bagged a winner. So... and he makes music. I bagged the winner. That's how it goes. That's how you do it. But at the end of the day, he takes care of himself. If I do these things for him, it's because I want to. It's not because I have to. It's because I want to. That's it. But anyway, that was the point of this whole thing. We're going to eventually make a podcast because we've learned how to communicate with each other a little bit better. So that should be a lot easier to go ahead and do this podcast thing.
Who wants to get in bed with the bakaris?
That's the name of our podcast, In Bed with the Bakaris. And the interviews are going to be called Threesomes because we're provocative like that. So, you're so stupid. So anyway... I'm out. I'm going to go ahead and rest and chill and all that other stuff. And I'll talk to you later. Absolutely. Nobody is nobody's fucking maid. Clean up after yourself. You're a grown fucking person. Do your own shit. Period. If we cleaning together. That's it. And as he would say, period, pooh. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.